to it. O'Neal will take the shot, looking for the far side, and Brendan O'Neal has a goal.
TV3 Sports has come to Lions Stadium on the campus of Trenton State College in Ewing for the Group 3 Soccer Championship between the Raiders of Scotch Plains-Fanwood High School and the Crimson Knights of Wall Township. Hello again, everyone. I'm Matt Lachlan. Along with me, Hugh Albanesius. We welcome you to this evening's coverage. Two teams, Hugh, that have illustrious histories in this sport.
Yes, both teams have rich tradition in soccer. Defending state champion Scotch Plains, looking for their second in a row, and Wall hasn't won a championship since the early 80s, but they're still capable.
They won 4 in a row, but as you said, it's been a while since they won a state championship, but two traditional powers squaring off. For Scotch Plains, a veteran club. We've seen Tom Bresnitsky's team before. They're a very good side.
Oh, they're an excellent side. They're undefeated. Nobody's been able to touch them. They tied a couple times, but as you say, they're experienced. They've played this game a lot, and they're very tough.
Ties to St. Benedict's and to Westfield. The last defender, if you will, is the man who mans the net, Bracky Reyes, and there are very few better.
You're right. It just seems like he's been around forever. We've been saying his name all the time, but he has been playing since he's been a freshman, and they don't come too much better than Bracky.
The interesting thing about Reyes, Hugh, is that sometimes you don't know how good he really is because the 10 guys in front of him are pretty solid too, but trust us, Reyes is a very fine defender. How about Wall? They come in 17-5, and if you talk to the coach and read his comments in the paper, they seem just to be happy to be here.
Well, yes, they're a little more than happy to be here, but they really don't have a real outstanding star or true star of the team. They play together well as a team, and that's what's given them their success this year.
Yeah, the scoring is balanced out, but the leading scorer is Chris Hartz.
Well, Chris Hartz has done a nice job, better than nice job this year. He's done outstanding. He's been really the heart and soul of this team and what's kept them together and helped them be a winning club.
All right, we'll find out how things go over the 80 minutes of regulation as Wall takes on Scotch Plains for the Group 3 State Championship here at Trenton State College. Don't go away.
Environment, education, politics, plus anything else that is an issue in your community. Let your voice be heard on Local Issues Live. This program brings on both sides to discuss and debate a specific topic. You can call our studio to add comments or ask questions. Make a difference. Watch and call Local Issues Live. Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and a taped repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Your voice can make an impact, and it's only a phone call away. Local Issues Live, only on Suburban Cablevision TV3.
The TV3 Sports Team, your best source for information on the local sports scene. The TV3 Game of the Week promises professional coverage of the most exciting matchups of local teams. Suburban High School Sports Report will introduce you to the players and coaches on the sidelines. And Scoreboard, the definitive source for scores of games involving area teams. The TV3 Sports Team, the answer to your sports questions, only on Suburban Cablevision TV3.
After work, I'm having a mammogram done.
Is everything okay?
A mammogram is one of the most important examinations for women over 35. It is the most effective method of detecting a lump early and provides the best chance of recovery. Mammography should be done in conjunction with monthly soft breast examinations and routine physicals. The American Cancer Society and major physicians' organizations recommend initial testing between age 35 and 40. Follow-up exams for 40 to 50-year-olds should be performed every 2 years. Yearly if there's a family or personal history of breast cancer. After age 50, they should be done annually.
That was the doctor. Everything is fine.
Remember, a mammogram takes only 15 minutes of a woman's time and may save her life.
We're back at Trenton State College, the home of the Lions. I'm Matt Laughlin, along with me, Hugh Albanesius. We're about ready for the start of this Group 3 state championship. Let's meet the starting lineup. First, for the Raiders of Scotch Plains, Eric Ruano and Avi Horev are up front. The midfielders are Zahid Quarishi, Josh Winokur, D.G. Lewis, and Corey Brolinski. And in the back for the Raiders, Keith Joy, Mike Alchis, Eric Finley, and Mike Marcavecchio. And the keeper, of course, Bracky Reyes, the senior, who has been brilliant throughout his career. Second team all groups keeper last year. And, well, he's just a fine, fine keeper. And they've been talking about him a long time. And this is his final game of his final campaign. Let's check out the starting lineup for the 17-5 Crimson Knights. Up front, Rick Trahan, along with Mike Tiedemann and Anthony Libinati. The midfield twins on the outside, Dave and John Suki, Chris Hartz in the middle. And in the back, Jeff Forsyth, Scott Pekarchik, Joe Atkinson, along with Kevin Lightbody. And in goal, Tim Curtis. Curtis is a senior. He has recorded 6 shutouts this year. He's a first-year starter, and play is underway. Atkinson tries to clear, goes across the far side, and we will have a throw-in. There's Tom Bresnitsky, veteran head coach, 18 years at the helm of the program, 278, 74, and 14. This year, they are 20-0-2. 20 wins, no losses, 2 ties. The ties coming to Westfield in a regular season matchup and to St. Benedict's in a regular season matchup. Both of those were 0-0 scores. D.G. Lewis with it for the Raiders, trying to play it ahead to Horev. Here's Quarishi. Quarishi tries to play it out on the wing. It's chested down and cleared. The Crimson Knights in the crimson jerseys with the white shorts. Scotch Plains in the predominantly white uniform with the blue trim.
Matt, it's a great night for soccer here at Trenton State. The temperature probably a little bit cool, but around 40 degrees. Right now there is no breeze at all. And down on the field, after running around for a minute or two, I'm sure both teams look very warm and nice weather to play in.
Jim Carhart in his first year as head coach at Wall, but he had been the assistant since 1973 to Tom Farley. Farley, the only head coach prior to Jim taking over that the team had had. Ball on the far side, and it's played across the goal line. We'll have a goal kick. The officials this evening, Robert Strauss and Ronald Rosenzweig. This is the final of the 6 state championship games to be played here at Trenton State College. St. Augustine and CBA winning the parochial crowns. Haddonfield, Gateway winning groups 1 and 2 respectively. And the Group 4 crown going to Shawnee. Ruano in the box, and it's cleared away. Nice layoff for Ruano by Berlinski. Ruano with the cross, and it's cleared away by John Suki, and we'll have a corner kick.
Scotch Plains looking to bring the ball down wide and put it back into the middle, and they've done it twice and got a corner kick out of this one.
Quarishi lays the ball off. The corner will be taken by Berlinski. The Scotch Plains cheerleaders here to support the club. Berlinski, the senior, will take it.
Good ball.
Punched out by Curtis, sent back toward goal, and Curtis, quick as a cat, is able to put it away.
Scotch Plains saw that Curtis was out a little bit and took the shot right away. We'll get to see it again. There's the cross. Curtis punches it out. And a nice left foot. Curtis moving back in, makes the save.
Berlinski on the far side. Atkinson with him. It goes off of Atkinson, and another corner.
think that shot was taken by Lewis, if I'm not mistaken.
D.G. Lewis, the senior, the defensive center midfielder. Curtis talking to his team as they set up defensively for this corner. Jim Carhart said he's not technically pure, but he's got great reactions. We see that early as the header by Ruano goes wide. Ruano, the most dangerous player on this team, has got great vision, a dynamite shooter. He's the leading scorer at 19 goals and 10 assists, 29 points. Substitution for Wall, as Anthony Libinati comes off and Trahan comes on. Steve Hendricks was a late addition to the starting lineup in place of what we expected Trahan to be out there. So now up front it is Trahan along with Hendricks. Hartz, of course, will move up from that center forward spot. Lewis will take the throw in.
Ruano not able to handle that ball and control it as well as he wanted to in the corner.
Light body with the throw in. Joy settling it. Plays it nicely for Alchis. Alchis for Lewis. Lewis moving ahead. Has some room. Let's fire along the ground. And it's scooped up by Curtis. Well, so far, Scotch Plains has had the better of play as they've been able to maintain the pressure on this Wall Crimson Knight club. Taken away by Winokur for Ruano. Ruano turns to the right. Quarishi too far, and it's punched away.
This field lends itself nicely to Scotch Plains. It's a big field, at least 75 yards wide. Scotch Plains being very skillful, and they'll make use of most of the field tonight. Hopefully they'll, for them, they'll want to stay in one end, but they'll use the whole field.
Hendricks, the smallest player on the team. In fact, they weren't sure early on that they were going to keep him on the varsity. But he has such great understanding of the game, says Coach Carhart, that we found we needed that knowledge. Hendricks with 3 goals this year for the Crimson Knights. Not a very high goal-scoring team, but the scoring is spread out. Hartz with 12, Dave Suki with 10. His brother John has 8, Tiedemann with 6, Libinati with 4. So they don't rely on just one guy. Possible break here. Quarishi has Ruano, but he can't control it. It'll be a goal kick. That is also a trait that makes this Scotch Plains team a little different from last year's state championship squad, and that is balanced scoring. Now, Ruano's kind of out there at 19 goals. Then you drop down 13 for Horev, 11 for Winokur, 10 for Bowser, 5 for Pervilio, 7 for Quarishi, 5 for Berlinski. So again, they are not dependent on just the one player.
No, they've spread it around, and there's a number of people that are dangerous on this team.
Curtis has been busy thus far through the first 7.5 minutes. Markovecchio with the ball high in the air. Prokarchik tries to run onto it for the Crimson Knights.
Come on, Joey!
Atkinson with the clear. And we get a whistle as Alchis takes down Tiedemann.
He tripped him up a little bit and got called for the foul.
Hartz down the wing looking for Hendricks. Suki comes on. That's John Suki. This is D.G. Lewis, senior midfielder. Has a man behind him, Winokur. Hart staying with him step for step. Hart still marking into the box. Ball laid off. Quarishi turns, and it's handled by Curtis.
Quarishi had the right idea on that one. He turned and took the shot. Not a real strong one, but nonetheless, it was a good one because it was on goal and made Curtis make the save.
Quarishi's got a great work rate. Constant motion, constant movement. Quarishi with it. Gets past Pekarczyk. And knocked down by Lightbody, and Lightbody whistled for the foul. Lightbody, a converted midfielder and a forward, but needed in the defense and gets caught.
Not really sure if it was a foul. There was a collision there, but I think Lightbody did get the foot on the ball before there was any contact.
Lightbody will move into the attack. He is a senior, and now Scotch Plains talking things over. 29 yards out. Or check that, 24 yards out. Handled by Curtis off the left-footed shot. That was Keith Joy who put it on goal. Joy, a junior, just a tremendous defender, has an outstanding reputation. Forsyth punches it ahead, settled by Finley. Eric Finley, the junior sweeper. Joy heads it back to Reyes. Mike Farrell along the sideline looking to come in for Wall. Battle on the far side between Atkinson and Berlinski. Atkinson still with it. And it goes off of Atkinson. It'll be a throw in for Scotch Plains. 11 minutes gone by in the opening half. Matt Laughlin along with Hugh Albanesius scoreless thus far in this Group 3 state championship game. Quickly on the restart, and it's cleared out of the box. Alchis playing it back for Finley, charging on is Tiedemann, who intercepts. But Finley is able to regroup and prevent Tiedemann from doing anything with it. Dangerous situation there as Tiedemann came hard charging and the ball was played right at him. He was able to deaden it quickly. No rebound there at all. Hartz takes it away, push down. We'll get a throw-in though.
It's a little bit of nonchalant play there on Scotch Plains that time. I think they thought they were going to have an easy time of working the ball back, pushing it back up on the side, but Wall had other notions.
Mike Farrell comes on, the junior forward, has a lot of speed. When he comes on, he looks to shake things up, get things going offensively. So Jim Carhart wants to move things around. Hendricks comes off. John Suki also comes off, but I did not pick up who came on for him. And now let's see. Farrell now comes off, and Hendricks goes back on. Hartz outside, tries to turn it. There's Hendricks. Pekarczyk with the header. Alchis plays it outside for Marcavecchio. Intercepted by Hartz. Here's Tiedemann. Tiedemann plays it toward Reyes, and Reyes comes up with it. I said Hartz a moment ago. That's a correction. That was Anthony Libinati. Libinati who had the give and go with Tiedemann. And Libinati is the one who came on as Suki came off. Here's Traharn. Reyes has to come out and beats Hartz to it. Wall coming in somewhat with an attitude of this game is a bonus for a solid year. A year in which they have no real superstar, but they've done very well. Co-champions in the Shore Conference C South Division, along with Monsignor Donovan. Went to the finals of the Shore Conference, lost 2-1 to Jackson. That's the Shore Conference tournament. And so a sense that this has just been a pleasant season and a nice reward for it. But the longer they stay in the match, the more the confidence will build, and more a sense of, hey, we're here to win.
There's no question about that. I think Scotch Plains has to be the favorite team, you know, based on their record and their ranking and so on. But Wall is for real. They're a good team. They played hard all season, and as you say, the longer they stay in a game and play tough with a team like Scotch Plains, the tougher they may get, and because they'll get more confidence.
And a 2-1 loss to a Jackson, evidence of the fact that this is a good team. This is a good side. They can play with anybody. Curtis coming out to take the cross, grabbing it in midair, preventing any further damage. Corey Berlinski with the cross. Berlinski is senior. Great speed, great acceleration.
Scotch Plains didn't have anybody close enough on that play. They need to, you know, Berlinski was up in the corner and made a nice cross. Maybe the cross could have been a little deeper, but there wasn't anybody on the doorstep for Scotch Plains.
5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points for the senior midfielder. Forsythe with the header, played right back in by the Raiders. Atkinson settles, playing it ahead. Pekarchik, the stopper back. Pekarchik, a senior. Check that, he's a junior. This is a team composed of an awful lot of juniors, quite frankly. Mike Tiedemann, he is one of the seniors on the club. Jim Carhart says if he's on his game, generally we are too. 16 minutes gone by. Joy with the missed kick. And now we'll have a substitution that I thought we were going to see a little bit before, as Farrell comes on and Hendricks checks off, and no joy on Keith's face after that restart. Ruano, play allowed to continue on as he has possession. Ball played a little too far in front of him, and Forsythe with the clear. In the early going, Hugh, I don't think it would be correct to say that Wall is playing defensively, because they've moved the ball into attack on occasions such as this, but they play a very solid defensive game. They're not going to allow the short passes. They're not going to allow you to make more than 1 or 2, and that's when Scotch Plains so dangerous. 1, 2, 3, and into the attack as Tom Bresnitsky on the sideline talking to his team. Group 3 championships for the Raiders. 4 for Wall. They're going to challenge for every ball.
Well, they are. They'll do that, and they'll mark. They've marked nicely in the back. Mark Scotch Plains well. They have had a couple opportunities where they've come close and brought the ball down, although Bracky Reyes has ended up with a ball each time. They are working the ball, and thus far, you know, Scotch Plains might have a little better of the play, but not overwhelmingly so yet.
And going back to our comment in our open, you know, Reyes is very good. There's no one who will deny that. We'll get back to that in a moment as Lewis has a break, but he is cut off by Lightbody, and Tiedemann sends it ahead. Reyes is very good, but he also is the beneficiary of a strong defense in front of him, led by Joy and Marcavecchio and Alchis and Finley, as we get the foul called on Wall.
Libinati with the push, kind of obvious and not too tough to call. Doesn't complain too much. He knew.
Libinati, versatile, can play up front, can play midfield. Another one of the trademarks of Carhart's squad is the fact that players aren't settled in necessarily at one position. When he asks them to move, they're able to do so. You need those interchangeable parts. Libinati, one of them. He'll take the throw-in.
That's what makes a good team, and as we stressed in the beginning, they are a team and not any real individuals playing. They play well as a group. And really, I think that's a key to this game.
Perhaps more individual talent on the Raiders side, but so far, Wall staying with Scotch Plains through the first 19 minutes. Here's Brzezinski, so dangerous, so quick. And Lewis with the shot off the football goalpost. Lewis with the best ball handling skills on this team. Dave Suki comes on. Crimson Knights huddled against the chill. They defeated Lacey Township 2-1 to advance to the championship. Lacey, of course, was in this final last year against Scotch Plains. Possible break here. Brzezinski tries to get into the box, and Libinati does a nice job of just calmly playing it across the far line.
Lewis did a nice job of getting that ball into Ruano, who tried to pass it out to Brzezinski, but wasn't able to control the ball.
Scotch Plains makes substitutions. Gar Stevenson, one of them, and he'll take the throw in. Tony Perfilio is also on, along with Eric Bowser. Here's Bowser with it in front, and now it is cleared off of the Brzezinski shot. Still free, and finally punched out of the box. Brzezinski with it for Stevenson. Back to Brzezinski. Brzezinski breaking in on goal. High ball, and it is off the post and across the line, and we'll have a corner kick.
Oh, so close. Brzezinski pushed the ball, lofted it to the far corner. We'll get to see it again.
This is why he's so dangerous, I thought he miskicked it, but he was playing the ball high.
He was playing it high, looking for that far corner. He even put some outside English on it, and there it was.
Perfilio putting it on goal. Stevenson with the corner, and it's headed out and now clear to the side. Interesting, Curtis was shielded on the play, but the thing he did, as soon as he saw the ball was played there, if you noticed on the replay, he went right for the corner. He went right for the post, hugged the post, and even though he was shielded on the play, he was in position to make the play. Bowser comes running on, but Curtis beats him to it. Bowser, 10 goals as a reserve, 4 assists, 14 points. A reformed keeper, if you will, playing up front in his senior year.
Every keeper's dream.
And I guess with Reyes back there, he wasn't going to see a lot of time, so he decided that he was going to try and find a way to get some action. Wall substitution. Hendricks comes on. Let's watch this last play as Stevenson tries and is unable to keep it in.
Good effort.
Atkinson will take the goal kick. 17:46 to go. And another substitution for the Crimson Knights as Pekarchik comes back on and Forsyth comes off. Forsyth shaken up a little bit. Looks like he might have banged heads with somebody. He's holding his forehead. Yeah, a little blood streaming down the side of his face. So I guess he must have cracked a head with somebody. Here comes Scotch Plains. Scoreless game, Group 3 state championship. Fine job done by Atkinson. Atkinson still with it. Lewis trying to turn him away from it. And it goes off of Atkinson and a throw-in for Scotch Plains.
Brzezinski just once again showed how dangerous he was with the ball. Hustled, kept the play going, tried to pass off. You can't give him an extra step.
Stevenson, good long hard throw-in, and Curtis challenging for the ball as he should.
I don't know how he moved Brzezinski off the ball a little bit. I'm not really sure how, but nothing called. I'm not saying he did push him with the hands. It was hard to see, but either that or Berlinski did a great job of acting on it.
Farrell showing his speed, but Reyes able to come out and beat him to it. Farrell has that ability. That's what he's in there for, to use that speed, shake things up a little bit. First half action, second half of the first half, if you will. Matt Laughlin and Hugh Albanesius. Scoreless game between Scotch Plains and Wall Township. Berlinski, ball bouncing, unsettled. Hendricks plays it off of Joy. Joy keeps it in. Does a nice job of waiting for it, Hugh. Atkinson finally pushes it ahead for Hendricks. That was a very fine play. Here's Tiedemann. Tiedemann playing to the outside. Farrell rushing on. Ball is loose and Reyes comes up with it. .15:06 to go in the first half.
Well, Reyes came way out on that play, but Marcavecchio was right back in the goal and went back to control things. Yeah, that could have been a handball.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a handball on Lewis, but none was called. Or check that might have been Joy. Joy with the throw-in. At any rate, no whistle on it. Scotch Plains comes away unscathed. John Suki trying to loosen up on the sideline. He'll come back in as Jim Carhart has gone to his bench fairly extensively here in the first half. Suki will replace Hendricks. And we've seen these interchangeable parts. Suki starting at midfield, and he's back in a midfield spot, but replacing Hendricks, who had been up front and now has moved back. Here's Dave Suki, John's twin, left foots it, and Reyes is there, bounces it to himself. The Sukis are juniors, they're twins. They played on the same side until a recent injury to Rich Durick, and that forced a little bit of a change around in Jim Carhart's lineup, so he was forced to split them apart. Traharn moves up front along with Hendricks, and Suki moves back to halfback to replace Durick.
When you can switch players around and play different positions and play them as well as Wall does, that gives it an added dimension to your team and allows you to be a little more creative and do a few more things.
Atkinson with a little bit of difficulty. Curtis has it. Well, you know, you have Suki, who was a forward, was a wing, moving him back because of the injury. That's John Suki. Because of the injury, moving him back to midfield. But now all of a sudden, when you need a little jolt in the offense, you can slip him up front, which is where he's playing now, out on the right wing. Tiedemann with a nice play. Hartz giving it back to Tiedemann, pushing it ahead for Farrell, but Alchis sends it down. Mike Alchis, a senior, another outstanding defender for the Raiders. Unbeaten in 24 games, 20 wins, 2 ties. Union County champions. Sectional champions once again, and looking for their 4th state crown. Wall has won 4 state championships. They won them consecutively in 78, 79, 80, and 81. Scotch Plains defeated Wall back in 1987 for the Group 3 crown. That was the first one for Tom Bresnitsky. They repeated in 89 and won last year, so they are the defending state champions. Perfilio, a 5-goal scorer, along with 10 assists. Perfilio, if you recall, last year scored the first goal of his career in the game against Lacey, the state championship. Stevenson again with the solid throw-in. Curtis has to be alert as the ball comes all the way through.
He has to get a little bit more help from his defense on plays like that. He can't allow the ball to come that far through. One of these times Scotch Plains is going to touch it and touch it in.
Stevenson, the senior, getting things going with that long throw-in. 11-10 to go in the first half. And a game that has surprised more than a few, I'm sure, of the experts, as it was generally conceded. And I think we were expecting Huey a little bit in the early going, at any rate, until we saw this Wall team. We were expecting that Scotch Plains might have had a little bit of an easy time against a club that was somewhat viewing this game as a bonus for the season.
Well, Scotch Plains just doesn't seem to have gotten their offense really on track yet. Not to take anything away from Wall, they are playing very well.
Pretty ball by Winokur. Cleared by Atkinson. Well, you know, Scotch Plains has had some tests the last half dozen games. Certainly not in the sectional final where they won 9-1, but it was 4-2 in their most recent game against Cliffside Park, and that game was in overtime. This is Curtis again.
Curtis came out a little bit too far on that one and had to come back and almost lost it.
Has to show his reactions getting back. But Scotch Plains has had some struggles. 2-1 in the state playoffs to Morristown, 2-1 to Westfield. I mean, they have not won games by very wide margins, with the exception of the 9-1 win over West Morris.
Well, you know, when you get to this point
But
in
they've
time,
won.
there are no slouches in the finals. And even though Wall has a 17-5 record, you think that, well, they're not really a match for a 20-0 team. But, you know, when you get here, everybody can play, or else you wouldn't be here in the first place.
Joy with the throw-in. Mike Vitale has come on for Scotch Plains. And now Wall goes to its bench as we take a look at Josh Winokur, the senior offensive center midfielder. Garrett Burt coming on for Wall. And it looks like he's replaced Tiedemann. So Jim Carhart and Tom Bresnitsky utilizing their benches. Perfilio in the corner, watched by Lightbody, and the ball goes off of Perfilio. Perfilio a junior, Lightbody a senior. Jim Carhart describes his team as a hard-working, go-to-the-ball club, and so far that description has been accurate. Joy moving into the attack, in the box, looking to turn. It comes all the way through. Bowser and Stevenson unable to turn on the ball. This is Stevenson on the far side. And the ball goes across the far sideline, and we have a throw-in.
Stevenson not able to get to the ball because he was being effectively blocked off the ball. Wasn't able to come back and get it. When I say blocked off, I mean legally also. No, there was no holding, but he just couldn't get around his man.
Corner kick. Winokur setting it down. He'll lay it off for Stevenson. Now perhaps it'll be Joy. Yes, it will. Keith Joy will take it.
Berlinski and Perfilio going out.
Who's got 24?
Into the box. It's free. Headed away by Lightbody. It went past Curtis, and Lightbody was there to clear it off the line. Now a little bit of you got it, I got it. Nobody's got it, but Wall was able to clear it. Curtis causes your heart to be in your throat if you're a Wall supporter sometimes.
Well, Wall can't afford to make these mistakes, give Scotch Plains these opportunities, and us Scotch Plains, on the other hand, has to start taking advantage of them.
We have a foul called on Wall, so Berlinski will take it. I mean, Curtis makes you happy because he's won 17 games if you're a fan of Wall's, but at the same time, he comes out. Sometimes the ball's past him. He comes out a little too soon, and he's got to use his reactions to get back and recover. Berlinski,
nice.
Curtis with the rebound. Bowser tries to backheel it. It goes off of light body and will have a corner kick.
There we saw Berlinski get a step on his opponent, touched it one more time, and then took the shot. A nice shot. Get to see it again. There's the shot through two people, and a good shot. The ball spinning, tough for Curtis to handle.
So Berlinski will take the corner. 5:27 to go in the first half. Matt Laughlin along with Hugh Albanesius. Scoreless game, put up high off the goalpost. So Scotch Plains in the latter moments has picked up the pace. Quarishi comes on, Stevenson off for Scotch Plains. 35 minutes in. Lewis, marked by Dave Suki. Now double team, fighting for the ball. And Wall has it. Dave Suki has it taken away by Berlinski. Now Dave and John Suki double team Berlinski. And Berlinski's lost the shoe, and Berlinski throws an elbow.
Berlinski gets pushed down from behind and doesn't take it too kindly. And the foul was called against Wall.
The second one really more of just pushing his arm out more than an elbow. But both players becoming tangled up. Winokur and a goal kick.
And nothing wrong. There was a foul there. It was called. Nothing wrong with, at this point in time, even taking out two cards and hitting two players right in the beginning to let the rest of the players know that, you're not going to stand for this, and it's enough, and that's the way it'll go.
That was not the case, however. But that does send an effective message, no question about it. Berlinski beats Pekarchik to it. Berlinski just outside the box, low cross, knocked away by Lightbody. Or check that was Atkinson. Here's Berlinski again.
Nice
for
ball.
Quarishi, hard shot that Curtis knocks down.
There was Berlinski dishing the ball out to Quarishi, and Quarishi taking a nice hard shot. Curtis makes the save.
Berlinski, a very talented player.
There's the dish off to Quarishi, a nice shot. There's Curtis bringing the ball down and making the save.
Quarishi wasted no time at all. Once he had the opening, he took the shot. Under 3 minutes now to go in the first half. Horev with the cross, calmly put down by Atkinson. Atkinson pushes it to the outside. Winokur with the cross, and Curtis pushes it over.
Winokur did a heck of a job that time. You saw him work hard and not give up and continue to play. Got the ball back, took the shot. It had goal all over it had it been for Curtis. Here we see it again. Curtis knocking the ball away because that was in the upper right corner. And there's the save over the top by Curtis.
And as we come back to action, the corner kick goes across the line, and so we'll have a goal kick.
It gets pushed off the ball and you don't call it. That scoring opportunity was created by you.
Someone along the Wall sideline disagreeing with an official's call, or rather lack of it, clearly heard in the background. Everyone wants to wear the striped shirt. Ball taken away by Berlinski. Laying it off for Lewis. Curtis comes out. Horev was charging on.
Scotch Plains definitely bringing the play down to the wall end for the last 7-8 minutes, maybe more, but yet nothing to show for it.
We are near the end of the first half. John Suki. Here's Quarishi. Tiedemann for Wall with the long ball. And it's played back by Joy to Reyes. Bowser and Libinati in a little bit of a battle before Lightbody sends it down.
Bowser felt that he was fouled on the play. May have been, but made no difference because there was no whistle, which means there was no foul.
Ball in the box, and Marcavecchio does a very fine job of coming over from his right back spot. We have a foul called on Wall. Marcavecchio, a senior, good wrestler. Playing in the back, 5'11", 145 pounds. Foul now whistled on Scotch Plains.
This one called on Winokur.
Just before the end of the first half, and that horn in the background indicates the end of the first half of play. Scoreless after 40 minutes. Scotch Plains, the defending state champion, in a 0-0 tie with the Wall Crimson Knights.
Serving your community. We are Suburban Cablevision's TV3. Suburban Cablevision TV3. It's like having your own personal TV channel. You like sports? We have high school sports all year long. Prefer information? Your mayor is just a phone call away on downtown. Feeling intellectual? Watch Challenge, the academic game show to match wits with the brightest from the area high schools. Whatever your mood, we can match it. Suburban Cablevision TV3, the nation's leader in awards for cable excellence.
Well, we've got 40 minutes of regulation ahead of us. A scoreless game after the first half between Scotch Plains and Wall. A half-hue in which Scotch Plains looked like the more dangerous side. They clearly had the better of try, but it's scoreless.
They did have the better of the play, especially in the last 10, 12 minutes. Still nothing to show for it, which we've said a number of times. This is a very frustrating game sometimes. You can do everything right, but as you know, if you don't put the ball in the net, you're not going to win. They've had good opportunities. They've got to take advantage of them, and Wall has to tighten up a little bit defensively and not give them so many opportunities.
This is the final state championship game. 5 champions have been crowned. It began earlier in the week with the parochial championships. CBA winning the parochial A crown over Don Bosco 2-0. It was St. Augustine over Del Barton by a score of 2-1 for the parochial B crown. In Group 1, Haddonfield with the shutout over Pompton Lakes. Gateway by the same 2-0 score won the Group 2 crown. And in Group 4, Columbia falling to Shawnee 3-1. Teams switch sides, and let's see what halftime adjustments have been made by both clubs. It was a brilliant halftime talk and encouraging word from Brian Gibney that helped spark Shawnee to the win over Columbia. They were down 1-0 at half. They scored 3 second half goals. Tiedemann had the header on Reyes there. Out on the wing for Hendricks. Turns. It's knocked down by Marcavecchio. Still with it. Gets it outside the box. Pekarczyk. Or check that that's Trahorn. Trahorn with the shot that was knocked out of the box.
Marcavecchio living a little dangerously that time, crossing and bringing the ball back toward the middle. Sort of a cardinal rule. Don't do that.
John Suki across the line. Throw in for Scotch Plains. Reyes has not been tested. Lewis pushing it forward. Winokur playing it out. Quarishi does a nice job of turning it, and Curtis handles the short hop. Quarishi fate going left. He came back to his right and let go a blast.
Quarishi looked like he had that ball on a string. Watch him again. Brings it one way, then touches it back, and then comes with a shot.
Curtis equal to it, however, and we stay scoreless.
Have a push. I guess that's called on Quarishi on the far side.
Quarishi has shown that ability throughout his career, that long-range, hard shot. Here's Bowser, who starts the second half. Bowser getting around Atkinson along the line, and again Curtis alert.
Scotch Plains have to bring those crosses a little bit further out because they're making it kind of easy for Curtis to make the saves on those.
Saw a little blood on Bowser's jersey.
He's been in a battle.
Tiedemann high shot. Well, we saw John Suki come off earlier in the first half with some blood streaming down to the side of his face, and he made the assumption that he must have banged heads with someone, and if it wasn't Bowser, Bowser was in the neighborhood.
Sure was.
Tiedemann, one of the seniors on this Wall team, playing his final game, hoping that his club can win a state championship. They won 4 straight, the last one in 1981. They lost in the 87 final to Scotch Plains. Finley tries to clear. Hugh, you've had games where your teams at West Essex have had the better of play, but have been frustrated by the inability to put the ball in the back of the net. What do you do as a coach on the sideline to try and convince the club, keep at it, and not let the frustration build?
Well, you just tell them that they've got to be patient and do the things that they're doing, and it's going to pay off. We played a team once. We hit posts, we hit the goalie, we knocked the goalie out of the game, outshot the team 33-0. And with 2 minutes to go, we're still in a 0-0 tie.
Here's a through ball for Winokur. Crosses it in front. It's sent wide by Ruano.
Ruano had the touch on that, but just went wide. Sure, he'd like to have that one back again.
Winokur came bursting through all alone.
Nice cross. And Ruano would like to have that one back. He'd do something different the next time.
Winokur with the pretty feed for naught.
See, that's a play where Ruano had to put the ball on goal. You don't get it on goal, it's really a missed opportunity. Put it on goal and make Curtis make the save.
Bowser waiting for the ball. Now with the cross. Toward goal by
that was a much better cross by Bowser. Ball was out. Curtis had no chance of getting it.
Again, the pressure applied by Scotch Plains. It's been rather constant. There have been some momentary breaks in the pressure where Wall has had a counterattack. They've not looked particularly dangerous, but they've been able to alleviate some of that pressure for short moments. Pekarchik up ahead. Marcavecchio has to deflect off of him. Hart's running on, so is Finley. Hart still on the turf now, gets back up. Here's Berlinski coming the other way, has some room. And Libinati with the clear.
Berlinski not able to control the ball.
Now D.G. Lewis will try it for Berlinski. Nice flick ahead, but Wall able to get back. Lewis 30 yards out. Ball spun the opposite way of what Curtis was expecting. He headed to his left, it came back to his right.
Well, still, Scotch Plains doing a lot of things right. That shot was a good shot. It was on goal. Still haven't put it in yet. They've just got to be patient and, keep doing the things that they've been doing. And if it's meant to be, it's going to go in. If it's not going to go in. It's probably that simple. We have a trip.
And a direct kick for the Crimson Knights.
Get to see it again. No question about that one. No ball, all player.
Bowser by himself with 3 Crimson jerseys around him, and Libinati says, let me clear the ball. Mike Alchis. Hendricks bugging him. Alchis comes away with it. Berlinski pushed down, and we'll have a direct. Clear foul. Berlinski's not a big kid, 5'6", about 135 pounds. And because of his work rate, he tends to frustrate a lot of his opponents, and he finds himself pushed and knocked around an awful lot. Goal kick.
Well, there was a play, I think, where Hartz felt he got fouled before, and then got a little over-anxious, a little rambunctious, and fouled Berlinski back.
Joe Atkinson, stopper last year, playing the sweeper back spot tonight. Has played it this year for Coach Carhart. Winokur trying to play the through ball. Pekarchik deflected it momentarily. Here's Winokur again. Hendricks for Hartz. And now Pekarchik out on the wing, nobody there. Throw in for the Raiders. The Raiders, the defending state champion, defeated Lacey last year to win the Group 3 title. Quarishi again. Returning it for Bowser. The bullet is in the back of the net.
Ball put out on the wing by Bowser to Quarishi. Brought it back and hit a bullet. Beautiful.
Nothing that Curtis could do about it. Bowser with the blast. His 11th goal of the year.
The only way Curtis was going to stop that is if he was in front of it. There's the ball out to Quarishi on the left. Puts it back into the middle. Bowser comes on with the left. Oh, hit it.
At 49-42. Now you see Bowser. He must have cut himself a little bit too in that meeting with Suki. He had a little bandage on his left eye. Shot taken by Pekarczyk wide. Now the danger for Wall is you've been pressured all night. You've been able to handle it. Scotch Plains breaks through. If that lifts their confidence, you're going to be under even greater attack. You've got to be able, I'd say, for the next 5 or 7 minutes, withstand the onslaught. And if you can do that, you're still in the game.
That's right. You got to handle it and keep handling it. That they handled it all that well, as we said, Scotch Plains did a lot of nice things, just didn't finish and put it in. And that time they finished and put it in on a beautiful play. Now Scotch Plains is on the same, has to keep the pressure on. They have to keep playing the way they were playing, and not a little bit.
Can't relax with the lead. 11 minutes gone by. Second half. And the Raiders have just taken a 1-0 lead. Good chip by Berlinski. Lewis. Long ball for Bowser. Bundled up against the cool weather. 92 in the state semifinal. Quickly into the attack again. Bowser trying to left-foot it, Libin his way.
Trigger again.
With the left foot. Hartz pushing it ahead for Libinati. Here's Tiedemann with some room. Has a man to his left. Tiedemann still with it. And Tiedemann perhaps held the ball just a little too long, and we get an offside.
Scotch Plains brought the defense up quickly and caught the ball on the far side right on the play.
Tiedemann had Traharn open to his left, tried to take it that extra couple of steps, and by then the Scotch Plains defense was able to recover. For Bowser. Bowser marked by Libinati, still with it. Borev. Good Quarishi.
Quarishi was looking for an extra step in the opening.
Lewis's shot handled by Curtis. 26-10 remaining in the second half. Scotch Plains leading by a score of 1-0. We're on the campus of Trenton State College. We're at Lions Stadium. Matt Laughlin along with Hugh Albanesius. The final played here. So far, Hugh, TV3s are 0 for 2. Harrison losing to Gateway. Columbia falling to Shawnee.
Not a good.
Last year, Harrison was co-champions. Scotch Plains was unbeaten. With a good ball out for Horev. Be a throw-in. Football action coming up on TV3. Union and Elizabeth in the semi-group 4. Union won the initial 3. Perfilio comes back on, saw extended play in the first half. Horev will go off. Bar Stevenson in the darkness. Coming into the crossbar, and we have a corner kick.
Curtis got a hand on the ball and put it up over the top, and we'll have a corner. Good throw, good long throw, and going up and putting a hand on it over.
The football crossbar, of course, is considered out of bounds. Once it hits that, play is ruled dead. "16 minutes gone by." Heavy senior team. Heavily dominated by Winokur, a senior, Horev, a senior, Lewis is all seniors. Ball played through for Bowser, and he's got goal.
Beautiful feed by Berlinski. Pushed it right through to Bowser. He touched it once or twice.
The Scotch Plains fans on their feet. as the team has taken a 2-0 lead. Tom Bresnitsky come on the outside. 23-27 remaining.
There we see Berlinski starting to play at almost midfield, working the ball in, beating his man, coming in, seeing what's happening. Bowser coming onto the ball. He gets over to the right side and just uncorks it again. There you see it, goal. Pretty play.
56. Bowser on the side now. Scotch Plains has had the better of play throughout. They were stymied in the first 10 minutes, but they've broken through for 2 here in the second half.
22 minutes to play. The pressure is really on Wall. They're going to have to press and come up and do that before, whether the score is 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. It doesn't matter. You know you're going to lose, so you've got to come up and.
Horev beating light body to it. Down. Play allowed to continue.
I should say he was taken down. Real strong opportunities there.
You sense, Hugh, that off of Scotch Plains, they might have been pressing a little more free-flowing.
I think at this point, and more dangerous, and that's what I think what we're seeing right now. Goal lead. Right now, you know, they've got things in control.
Playing with a world of confidence. Looking to complete an undefeated season. 20 wins and 2 ties. Ties with Westfield and St. Benedict's, both 0-0 encounters. And that we have a whistle, play behind action, player down. Clock stopped, 19:06 showing. Player down for Scotch Plains.
I don't know if we were able to see it, but as Finley started to bring the ball up and come up from his back position, Maravecchio was with the interchange of the positions and covering for one another.
Berlinski, the injured player, his left ankle being attended to. On my list to make sure I didn't leave some off. Ahmed Dogra, who was injured early in the year and has not returned to full form. Also of Tom Solis is a senior by tenure. Phil McClemens is a senior. Jason Mahansky is senior. So those additional names, senior-dominated club. Plains leading 2-0. Under 19 minutes to go. Here's Horev, Avi Horev into the box. Burst of speed sends it across. Stevenson trying to settle, does. As Winokur was waiting for the header.
Stevenson did a nice job of turning on that ball and getting it back in the middle, and Curtis came out and grabbed the ball before any more damage could be done.
The Raiders leading 2-0. Winokur with the header high and wide. Winokur, one of those players in his final game for Scotch Plains. Stevenson with a flick for Winokur. Horev, and it's 3-0. Horev's 14th of the year, and still no reaction from Tom Bresnitsky on the sideline. He won't enjoy it until it's over.
No, but he has a pretty good idea of what's going to happen as long as Scotch Plains keep playing with the intensity that they have.
It starts with a little flick.
Stevenson's flick right into the middle. Horev puts the left foot on it, right in the left-hand corner.
Three 0 now, the Raiders on top. 3 second-half goals. This game has some implication on our #1 spot in our top 10 poll. With Columbia losing, it basically was a moot point what happened here. Scotch Plains came in as the #1 team. Scotch Plains ahead of Columbia at 2. And with Columbia losing, the Raiders completely disgraced themselves. It would be hard-pressed for them to be unseated from the spot, but leading 3-0 on their way to a state championship, solidifying their position as the best team in the TV3 area. And in all likelihood, they will finish second in the Star Ledger poll.
Most likely.
Benedict's #1.
Well, it's tough to unseed them from that position since they're done, and
Their season's
that's
over.
where they've been.
And the two teams played to a 0-0 tie regular season. Benedict's winning the Prep A title, the Essex County Tournament crown. And I would imagine Shawnee will move up to #3 in the poll. They were 4, Columbia 3. And so they'll probably flip-flop.
So you see St. Benedict's, Scotch Plains, Shawnee, 1, 2, 3.
Well, I would just imagine. I mean, they came in 1, 2, 4, and Columbia 3. Clearly, Shawnee will move ahead of Columbia.
Based on the result of the game, I
Yeah.
don't see how you could do too much else. You know, it's always tough to speculate when teams haven't played each other, you know, which one can be here or there. But when you play head-to-head and one comes out a winner, there's usually no question about it.
Wholesale substitutions for the Raiders as Tom Bresnitsky looks to clear the bench. Here's Ahmed Dogra. Dogra, a senior, injured early in the year, lost his spot, still has not rounded completely into form. It's so hard to do. When you're hurt early in the year, you lose conditioning. But here he is back on the pitch for his final game of his career, under 15 minutes to go. You saw Tom Bresnitsky shaking hands with Avi Horev. Horev probably done for his career, probably will not come back on. Perfilio. Ball played back for Winokur. Pushed ahead for Perfilio. Curtis comes out. It's a loose ball, and it is 4-0. Jason Mahansky, one of the senior reserves, comes off the bench and makes it 4-0. Mahansky came on in that wave of substitutions just a moment ago, and a big smile on his face.
Oh, he's happy. Just a nice little push through, and you see the Perfilio being held, but he gets there just about the same time that Curtis does, and there's the goal. Nothing anybody can do about that one.
So it is 4-0 in favor of the Raiders.
It's nice to know when you can put a lot of substitutes in and you still come and score another goal. So that just shows you a little bit about Scotch Plains' bench. As we said in the first game, a lot of people on the bench on Scotch Plains, Shawnee, and Columbia could probably be starting for a lot of other teams.
Phil McClemens is also out on the field for Scotch Plains. Player taken down, but no whistle as Dogra plays it back to Reyes. I wonder if Tom will take Reyes out at some point as we get within, say, 4 or 5 minutes of the end of the game. Have him come off, get a big round of applause in his final game. He's done so well for so long for this team.
I think that would be a nice thing to have.
Ball in front, Quarishi left foots it, a soft shot. He didn't get it all, and Curtis has it.
Scotch Plains still pressing the attack.
The Raiders will bring on some more players at their the next opportunity. Russ Frame and Matt Murphy on the far sideline, along with Jamie Kelleher, a trio of juniors. Here comes Frame. He'll come on first, and it looks like Quarishi will go off. Quarishi, a senior, hopping off. Congratulated by Tom Bresnitsky. Probably the last time he'll be on the field for the Raiders. Under 12 minutes remaining.
For all intents and purposes, very probably this game was over at the 17:30 mark when Scotch Plains scored their third goal.
They had only given up 2 goals once this year. And so if you just base it on that fact alone, that third goal made it a margin that could not be exceeded. McClemens' header goes across the far side. We'll have a throw in for Wall. Scott Pekarchik and Mike LaRocca coming on for Wall. Joe Atkinson comes off. Atkinson, a senior, concluding his career. Garrett Bird also coming off. He's just a junior, but Atkinson probably ending his career for Wall. And now we'll have a new keeper coming in. Tom McGill will come on, and senior Tim Curtis will come out. Curtis, first-year starter, took his team to the state final. Will end his senior year at 17-6. Congratulations to that young man. You know, the moment stings, but overall he's had a very fine year.
He sure has. He's not has nothing to be ashamed of. He's done a great job this year. Did a real nice job tonight, but there were those 2 shots by Bowser. I don't care who you were. As I said, if you weren't right in front of him, you weren't going to stop those, and I don't care who the goalie was.
That first one in particular was a bullet. Under 10 minutes now remaining. We invite you to stick with us for our post-game show, wherein we will speak with Tom Bresnitsky. Eric Bowser will also join us. There's Coach. And what is that hat on that player? It's Corey Brolinski trying to stay warm.
Looks like something you've seen in Alaska.
It's not that cold.
Well, he's warm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. At any rate, we'll speak with Tom Bresnitsky, and Eric Bowser and Bracky Reyes will join us on the post game. There's Tom saying, he just kind of whispered out his time. I said, where did you get that hat? Corey's dad is a very fine official. We, in fact, worked a game a week ago today, the sectional final, New Providence and Brearley, in which he officiated the game along with Joe Cockerval.
He also did
Robert Berlinski.
One of the county games also.
Look out. Baca sliding into the Scotch Plains bench. Now the Raiders come in with their substitutions.
If you go off the turf area of this field, there's a little bit of macadam around, and that's very slippery. Not because it's cold or wet, but it's just the difference in the textures.
Murphy and Kelleher come on. Winokur checks off, as does Mike Vitale. There's Winokur receiving congratulations from Bresnitsky. Frame pushed hard to the turf. Throw in. John Ryan has come on for Wall. Keith Joy, he'll be back next year. Only a junior. Gets a lot of notoriety, probably the most of all the defenders for Scotch Plains, but there are another 3 guys who man that back on a regular basis with Joy: Finley, Alchis, and Marcavecchio, who deserve an awful lot of credit.
And they've all done a tremendous job this year. Giving up 9 goals all season?
9 goals in
23 games?
23 games. Mike Tiedemann, a senior, comes off as Hendricks replaces him. Nice round of applause from the Wall fans. 6.5 minutes remaining. And Scotch Plains on their way to another state championship, successfully defending the crown they won last year. They won their first championship in '87.
Yeah.
They won again in '89 and in '91, so proving that they can win in the even year.
Sure are.
The Raiders come away with the crown. Ray is the only player, the only senior who has not been taken off, only regular senior. I'm not sure what Tom Bresnitsky's plans are. Perhaps he just wants to see him record another shutout. It would be the 38th of his career.
Come on, Sugi! Come on, Hart! Come on!
Hartz has it taken away. Joy playing it back to Reyes.
Reyes in no hurry now.
5:15 to go. It's been a long night for us at TV3, covering both games, the Group 4 game between Columbia and Shawnee in this game, and I'd like to extend my thanks to our entire crew for bringing you, our viewer, both games, working here at this fine facility.
Come on, Sugi! Come on, Hart! Get that ball!
Long run by Alchis. And an offside. Also want to thank Frank Harris, who is the director of this facility, and our hosts at Trenton State. This will conclude the soccer portion of the season for TV3. Just a few more football games remaining.
Rumor has it that we got this nice press box this year, because of my being an alumni here.
Absolutely.
Did that have something to do with it?
Absolutely. When they realized that you were coming back again, they said, we got to get you into the new press box.
Yeah, we got a little wet last year, but,
Oh, just a little. We're still drying out.
This is a tremendous facility, though. Well taken care of.
This is the facility that we are working out of. Cameraman up top, John Sefczynski, Dan Heasters. Is that John? Is that the hammer? Bundled up against the warm, against the cold weather. And what kind of a lid is that? Roy Picorni also on the camera crew. Joe Trunkale, our director. Steve Shepard on graphics. John Borowski, our engineer. Replays brought to you by Todd Goodman. Ball in the box and cleared with 2:40 to go. Chris Bruner on audio. I'm bound to forget somebody. Randall Miller, our assistant director. Here's Joy. And Jessica Sappinen on video, I am now informed. So, I didn't leave anybody out. They'll want to talk to me after tonight's game and work with me again.
Long day and a great job by everybody.
Yeah, it's been a long day, and I want to thank everybody for their efforts. One last offensive attack, perhaps, for the Raiders. Ball deflected. Under 2 minutes now to go. As I look down the end of the field, Reyes had his hands held up, saying, yeah, we did it. 2 state championships in a row. Back-to-back crowns for the Raiders. There he is, standing all alone. Senior keeper for the Raiders, Bracky Reyes. And we will be speaking with Bracky at the conclusion of this game, along with Tom Bresnitsky and Eric Bowser. Corner kick. Fans filing out. Now smiles on the sideline. Gentleman with the brown jacket on and the cap, Lino DeQualo, former great at Scotch Plains and at Rutgers, an assistant coach now at Scotch Plains. And the smiles on the coaching staff.
He was a pleasure to watch.
He was some talented player.
Hold on.
20 seconds remaining. Scotch Plains, #1 in the TV3 poll. They'll end the season at 21-0-2. 4 second-half goals. Bowser with 2, Horeb with 1, Mahansky with 1. Clock running down. The celebration begins for the Raiders. Back-to-back state champions. 4th overall crown. They end the year unbeaten. And they win this evening over the Crimson Knights by a score of 4-0. A fine year for a veteran cast led by a veteran coach, Tom Bresnitsky. And we will speak with the coach and some of his players when we come back to Lions Stadium right after this.
source for classic local programming. Suburban Cablevision's TV3.
Scotch Plains champions once again in Group 3 as they win this evening over Wall by a final score of 4-0. This gentleman scored 2 goals. Eric, congratulations on your performance. Your first goal opened up the floodgates after they stymied your team in the first half. Take us through the first goal.
Well, the ball was crossed across the middle, and I chopped it, and I looked to the right, to the wing. There's nobody there, and I started to go, and then I saw Zach cross into the space. So I gave him a ball and headed towards the goal so I can get, like, you know, in case it balanced out. And then he gave it back to me, and then I just concentrated on striking the ball square toward on goal.
And it was a bullet that Curtis could do nothing with. You started the second half with the team scoreless after one half. What was your thoughts as you went out on the turf for the second half?
We had dominated the whole entire first half, so I wasn't worried about at that point. I was just going to go out there and personally hustle, and everybody else was all pumped up, and it was just a matter of time.
How does this championship compare to last year's title?
For me personally?
For you or for the team?
Well, it is our second. It's our back-to-back. Everybody, you know, this is our senior year. Most of the kids on the team is a senior. So, you know, we're really happy about it. We're having to win it our back-to-back our last 2 years in high school.
Is this one different in any way, though, from last year's?
Well, the fact that it's back-to-back and we're graduating now.
Makes it a little more special.
Yeah.
Eric, congratulations on a fine year and capping it with tonight's performance, and enjoy the state championship.
Thanks.
Now stepping in, Bracky Reyes, the keeper, and Bracky, another shutout. How do you describe your feelings at this point?
I'm very happy. Well, you know, the team worked all year, and not just this year. It's been like 4 or 5 years probably straight. You know, Coach always gets his best competition. You know, we go out to Colorado, Canada, Pocono Cup and all these places, and I believe it pays off playing the best. And you know, what can you say? We went out there and did our job.
Of course, you're talking about the summertime competition and off-season competition that you face. How important is that year-round supportive atmosphere that you get in soccer at Scotch Plains?
I think it's very important because, you know, in the off-season, sometimes there's some teams that just are September through November teams. And they may not start out too well in September, you know, October, November, they start clicking, but by then it might be too late. You know, I believe this team just works, and we truly are a team because we work so long.
Bracky, this game caps a brilliant performance by you and so many of your teammates, a senior-dominated club. Any special thoughts as you were coming down to Trenton State, realizing that it was the final game of your career?
Everyone wanted to win. That was the main part. We just wanted to win and go out undefeated. And I'm just real glad and happy that happened.
This may be a difficult time to answer the question, but any way to sum up your years at Scotch Plains?
I think overall, we went through the hard times and the bad times together. And, you know, I think that with all our great coaches, especially Coach Brez over here, we, you know, he kept us together, and we struggled as a team sometimes. And, you know, happily we got out of it as 2 state championships out of it.
Well, congratulations on your performance throughout your career. It was a brilliant career for Scotch Plains. Bracky Reyes ends his career with another shutout, and I guess, Tom, that's only fitting that your great keeper would end it with another shutout.
That's for sure. He goes down as the only athlete in soccer at Scotch Plains to play on 3 state championship teams. He was a freshman when we won it in 1989, And so next to me, he's the guy around here who has the most rings.
Any way to compare this championship to the previous 3? Is this one sweeter, more satisfying?
Well, you know, I think this is, since it's back-to-back, we've had a very difficult time. As you know, I felt that we've been upset in the even years, and we've always been very successful in the odd years. And we had to get by a semifinal sectional game, which always seemed to be a little bit of our jinx. And we even had a tough time in it, but we did get by it. And to win back-to-back, I think, is, you know, certainly a highlight of my career as a coach, and I'm sure something that these young men will never forget in their lives.
We made reference to your great assistant coach, Lino DiQualo, who was brilliant at Rutgers and at Scotch Plains, helping you out this year. One of a number of outstanding players that you have had. But this team is very heavily dominated with seniors. Your thoughts on this club, who has been through so much, winning back-to-back, and you're going to lose an awful lot of them.
Well, a lot of people have asked me, you know, we've had some tremendous teams since 1985, you know, what team is the best team, and it's very difficult. This team, without a doubt, is a tremendous team, and it certainly can maybe go down as saying it is the best team, if not one of the two. Lino's team was a tremendous team, and it's ironic that Lino was a player in 1987 when we won our first state championship by a 4-0 score over Wall on November the 20th in 1987, and now he comes back as an assistant coach and we win by the same score against the same team. You talk about history repeating itself. But this group, you know, I said from the beginning, there's no superstars. There's a couple players who are very, very close to that. Maybe they are, but they're a great team. 11 good soccer players, 6 or 7 off of the bench, and they work very hard. And I think you could say at halftime, there's hardly anything we could say to them. They were so pumped to come out and play the second half.
We're not sure, of course, where you'll wind up in the Star Ledger poll. We speculate that you'll end second, which is where you started the night. But we do know that this solidifies you as the top team in the TV3 area, and we congratulate you on that.
Well, thank you, Matt. It's always a pleasure. TV3 does a great job, and hopefully we look forward to seeing you next year.
All right, Tom, enjoy the ride back. Congratulations on a brilliant campaign and another state championship.
Thank you.
Tom Bresnitsky, the veteran head coach of the Scotch Plains Raiders, and Huey, as he said, not much they could say at halftime. They did everything right in the first half except put the ball in the back of the net, but they did that 4 times in the second half.
Oh, you're right, and as we can quote Eric Bowser and say, it was just a matter of time, and that's really what it was.
It was indeed. Bowser with 2 goals, Horev 1, and Mahansky the 4th for Scotch Plains as they end the season 21-0-2, state champions on the Group 3 level and the top team in the TV3 area. That'll wrap up our coverage of this game and our coverage of the soccer season for 1992. For you, Albanesius, I'm Matt Laughlin. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a good night.